Welding is one of the most skilled and most in-demand trades in the country. It's also a career that comes with some of the most serious documented health risks of any trade on this channel. Today I'm giving you 5 honest reasons this career is generally hard. Then I'm telling you why people still do it anyway. Nobody's going to sugarcoat this one. Welding is physical, demanding, and the health risks are documented by some of the most serious research organizations in the world. The CDC, OSHA, the International Agency of Research on Cancer. I'm going to give you what they actually say, not watered down, not buried in fine print, because you deserve to know what you're walking into before you start. Before we get started, smash that like button and subscribe. All right, let's get into it. Reason 1, the fumes are documented carcinogenic. Full stop. Here's reason number 1. And this is the most serious one in this entire list. There is an organization called the International Agency of Research on Cancer. They classify substances based on how much evidence exists that they cause cancer in humans. Group 1 means the evidence is sufficient. Welding fumes are classified as Group 1, the same category as asbestos, the same category as tobacco smoke. The CDC documents that the welding fumes contain manganese. Manganese can accumulate in the brain and central nervous system. Prolonged exposure can cause a condition called manganism. It produces symptoms similar to Parkinson's disease, tremors, loss of coordination, stiff muscles, reduced hand and eye coordination. The CDC also documents a condition called welder's anthrax, a rare but serious form of pneumonia caused by bacteria that thrive in the presence of iron deposits in the lungs. OSHA confirms that welding stainless steel releases nickel and hexavalent chromium. Both are classified as occupational carcinogens. Here's what I want you to take away from all that. These are not hypothetical risks buried in fine print. These are documented findings from the CDC, OSHA, and the IARC. The welders who takes ventilation, respiratory protection, and fume capture seriously is managing these risks. The one who doesn't is accumulating them. Reason 2, arc eye is real, and it happens fast. Here's reason number 2, and this one is more immediate than the fume risk. Arc eye is a burn to the surface of the eye, caused by ultraviolet radiation from the welding arc. It's also called welder's flash. Research on welders' health found that arc eye injuries are the most prevalent acute injury in the entire trade. More common than cuts, more common than burns, more common than any other single injury type. Here's what arc eye actually feels like. Several hours after exposure, your eye feels like they filled with sand, intense pain, sensitivity to light, tearing, temporary vision impairment. It can happen from a single moment of unprotected exposure, looking at the arc without proper eye protection, a moment of inattention, a helmet that doesn't auto-darken fast enough. Prolonged UV exposure also increases the long-term risk of cataracts. Skin exposure to the arc can cause radiation burns, similar to severe sunburn. This is a trade where your eyes and your skin are at risk on every single shift. The protection is available and it works, but the welder who gets casual about it pays for it. Quick break. $214, $445, $519. Those are my actual single day earnings in month 1, month 4, month 5 using my brother Shane's content growth engine, and it just keeps building from there. It's a proven system for growing your YouTube channel and generating a full-time income in less than 4 hours a week. I'm not the spokesperson, I'm a paying member. If you want financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom, the link is in the description pinned in the comments below. Go check it out. Reason 3, the physical demands are relentless. Here is reason number 3. Welding is not just a technical skill. It is sustained physical labor in some of the most awkward positions in the trades world. Overhead welding, welding in confined spaces, crouching and kneeling for extended periods in pipe welding, sustained fine motor control under heat, noise, and physical stress. Research on welder health documented back and waist pain as among the most prevalent work-related complaints in the trade, and the conditions compound. Heat stress is a real risk. Welding generates intense heat at close range. In confined spaces or during hot weather, that heat has nowhere to go. Noise and induced hearing loss is documented in welders exposed to grinding and cutting without proper hearing protection. Burns from spatter and hot metal are a daily occupational reality. The welders at 25 and the welders at 50 are doing the same work with very different bodies. Managing that physical toll from year one is not optional. It's a career management decision. Reason 4, production welding is nothing like what you've seen online. Here's reason number 4, and this one is about expectation versus reality. Most people who get into welding do it because they've seen TIG welding videos online. The beautiful stacked dimes, the precision work on custom motorcycle frames, the artistic fabrication, that is real, and it exists in the trade, but it's not where most welders spend most of their time. Most welding jobs, especially early in the career, are production roles. The same joint, the same position, hundreds of times a day, on an assembly line or in a fabrication shop running the same part in volume. It's repetitive, it's physically demanding, and it looks almost nothing like the content that made welding look cool online. Here's the honest reality. The artistic, high-precision welding work exists at the top of the trade, in specialty fabrication shops, in aerospace and motorsports. In custom work, you build a reputation to do. The path there goes through years of production work first. The welders who knew that going in stayed. The ones who expected to be doing custom TIG work in month 3 often didn't. Reason 5, the pay ceiling for generalists is lower than people expect. Here's reason number 5, and this is the honest pay conversation that most welding content skips. The national median wage for welders is around $48,000, according to the BLS data. Entry-level production welders are starting at $38,000 to $55,000. That's solid money, but it's not the headline number that drew a lot of the people into this trade. Here's the honest explanation for the gap. The high number in welding belongs to a very specific category of welders. Pipeline welders with 6G certification, nuclear welders with the ASME Section 3 qualification, underwater welders with commercial diving certifications, aerospace TIG specialists. Those are real numbers, and those are real careers, but they require years of experience and difficult certifications, and a deliberate move towards a specific specialty. The generalist welder who stayed in production work without pursuing specialization often hits a ceiling, well below the industry's headline pay stories. The pay in welding is real, but it's concentrated at the top of the specialization ladder, not distributed even across the occupation. Real talk. You could spend months researching trades, or you could let Coura do it in about 10 minutes. Coura is Course Career's AI career counselor, and she looks at your goals, your personality, your lifestyle, and tell you whether HVAC, plumbing, electrical, construction project management, construction estimating, architectural drafting, or supply chain coordinator is the one for you. Then she drops you into a free intro course so you can actually feel what the work is like before you commit. No degree, no experience. Students have landed high-paying careers in little as 4 to 12 weeks. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Shortest path from I don't know to I'm in. That's Coura. So why do people still do this? Okay, 5 real documented reasons this career is hard. Here's the honest other side. The demand for skilled welders is real and growing. The BLS projects steady demand for welders through 2034. Pipeline welders, structural welders, and specialty welders in aerospace and industrial work are generally short-staffed. The certification structure on this trade is one of the clearest income ladders on this channel. Every new AWS certification, every new process mastered, every new position qualified opens a new door at a higher pay rate. The fume risk is manageable with proper engineering controls, ventilation, and respiratory protection. It doesn't disappear, but it is controllable by welders who treat safety as non-negotiable every single shift. And here's the thing about welding that keeps people in it. There is a physical and visual satisfaction to running a clean bead on a difficult joint. Almost nothing else in the trade world replaces it. The weld is right there. You can see it. You can test it. For the right person, that feedback loop is generally addictive in the best way. This is a hard trade. It is also one where the ceiling for the specialist who goes all the way is exceptional. Quick break here. If you're sitting here wondering which trade is actually right for you specifically, I built a free 5-minute tool that walks you through it. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Look, welding is not an easy career. The fume risk is documented and serious. The arc eye risk is real and happens fast. The physical demands are relentless. The production welding is nothing like what social media makes it look. And the pay for generalists is lower than the headlines suggest. But the demand is real. The specialization ladder is clear. And the welders who take safety seriously, pursue the right certifications, and go all the way to the top of this trade, build genuinely exceptional careers. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment. Are you a welder? Did I get this right? I want to hear from people actually doing this work. I read every single one. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.
If you need to learn the trades, go to Jack of all trades.